at myself in the mirror, I see a very effeminate body, because that's what I have. It doesn't feel like me. It doesn't feel like the body I'm looking at is the way that I feel on the inside. It feels like I'm wearing a costume, or like I'm hiding in like a flesh sack. It sounds really gross, but like it's like this weird, like you're covered up and like you're kind of stuck. No matter how I dress, even if I wore suits and stereotypically masculine things, I feel like I just look like a woman wearing men's clothes. And that's just uncomfortable and sad, and it makes me feel out of touch with my own body. My name is Alex Meser. I'm 22 years old. My pronouns are they, them. Currently, we are in my bedroom. I work from home. I graduated 2 years ago from Kutztown University with a bachelor's in professional writing with minors in literature and women, gender, sexuality studies. My dad's side of the family is from Trinidad, and my mom's side of the family is mostly from Germany. I grew up in kind of a mix of Pennsylvania and New York. My home life was mostly in Pennsylvania. That's where I went to school. That's where I resided most of the time. And then on the weekends, I went to visit my dad in New York. I knew I was queer first. So that happened in about middle school. And I remember coming out to my mom because I had been talking to this girl in middle school, and I was like, Mom, I have a girlfriend, and that means I'm bi. My mom and my stepdad, my dad and my stepmom all took that news very well. They were very supportive. They were always asking questions, and I always prompted that. I was like, if you're ever confused about something, you can always ask me. Like, I very much try to nurture this. And then when I formally felt confident in that role, that was about 2021, I started coming out. Non-binary, it's not that they don't know what it is, but it's less familiar. So the they, them pronouns trip people up because they think it's a grammatical, like it doesn't grammatically make sense, which is not true. We use the singular they all the time without even realizing it. Like, oh, someone lost their dog. I think the biggest thing that people struggle with when you talk about being non-binary or existing outside of gendered norms is like what that feels like on a day. Like what goes through my brain to make me think of myself as something that's not a man or a woman. And that is uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable conversation to have, and it's an uncomfortable thing to feel.
So yeah. I'm glad he came out.
I don't want to date somebody that I have to like convince them of my pronouns, and like have to talk them out of seeing me as a girl. And that's something that is hard to come by. I spent years breaking that down in myself, so I totally understand. But it's not something that when I look for a partner that I want to have to spend hours and hours of mental energy trying to like unwrite in their brain. I want them to have at least a little bit of a self-awareness to do that. Being an AFAB person in dating comes with its own issues. Sex before dating is a big thing. Most of the people that you talk to are maybe interested in dating, but mostly interested in having sex with you. I value genuine connection. I like to think of myself as a hopeless romantic. I'm very, like, if I'm going to date, I want it to be romantic and long-lasting. I'm not interested in short-term hookup-only relationships. As a non-binary person, it feels almost a little like a fetishization. I have, female physical attributes, and I look, I have a feminine face, like I don't look manly per se. So there's this, they get all the nice parts of me being a woman, but I'm different. I'm not a woman. So they get this like like it's like tokenifying, like, but I'm not dating a woman, I'm dating a non-binary person. But those are the types of people that will constantly mess up my pronouns or misintroduce me or maybe lie to their family or close friends about like say that I'm a woman, but not when I'm around. When I talk to people online, Tinder, any dating apps, there is an expectation. I think the alternative queer, I think they assume that I might be really kinky or like very sexual, or that that's what I want. And that's strange, going into a relationship and feeling like they've already written the type of relationship that we're going to have without even asking me. I have like received messages from people that are just directly asking me for sex. First message. This guy says, "You're gorgeous." So I said, "Oh, thank you." And then he goes, "I'd literally break every chair on earth so you'd have no choice but to sit on my face." What do you respond to that? Is that really all you see me as? And that's so humiliating for you. Not for me. Like, I know my worth as a partner, as a person. And if that's all you can see value in another person, especially someone of the opposite sex as you are severely missing out. Finding good LGBT dating apps is not as easy. There's apps that market themselves as LGBTQ plus, like that's what they're for. I find that their user base is very small, so it doesn't really work all that well. My biggest problem with Tinder is that it's very much based in men and women only. You can put that your gender is something else, but you have to put search, like when we're showing your profile, should we show you with men or with women? There's no other option. It's like isolating sometimes. It's like, I think, why I seek connections with people who are within my community. I personally spend a lot of time and effort on my relationships that aren't romantic. My friends, my family, especially my friends. I think I have a very close-knit group of friends and chosen family. And while if I was single alone for the rest of my life, I would not actually be alone. I have lots of support from people that I'm not romantically or biologically adhered to. And I know that those people, to the best of their ability, they would be there for me and I would be there for them through sickness and anything that they'd need help with, grief, poverty, whatever struggles. That community that I have is invaluable. This thing is like grown like crazy. Oh wow. Exactly. I want it to eventually flower, but it hasn't flowered yet. But it says this plant has no gender.